So I tried with the trial court first. I emailed the prosecutor yesterday, or maybe today, I can't remember which one, asking them if they would agree to, it was yesterday, asking them if they would agree to push back the sentencing. Of course, they said no. Once they said no, I reached out to the judge, filed a motion with the judge that was presiding over the case, but I had no faith that the judge would agree to push back the sentencing, and the judge denied the request to push back the sentencing.
Clock in. Black Gotti just walked in. Team Black Gotti, stand up, man. Yo. All right. If you're watching this video, we all know today, December 8th, was supposed to be the day Alicia Andrews gets sentenced.
Sentencing is set to take place tomorrow morning in Tampa for a woman convicted in the killing of rapper Foolio. Alicia Andrews was found guilty of manslaughter in late October for her role in that ambush that killed the rapper, whose real name was Charles Jones. Prosecutors say that Andrews helped to plan that attack and lied to police. She could still face a lengthy prison stint and is the first of several co-defendants to be sentenced.
All right, so Alicia getting sentenced. I obviously thought, the official sentence date was going to be the official sentence date. But of course, this is another curveball in this whole situation. I'm starting to feel like, the lawyers are actually trying to do the best they can. And one of those people who I feel is doing the best they can to make sure that, Shorty be in the clear some way, somehow. I don't know how they gonna do it, but it seems like, they're attempting everything they could possibly do. But let's be real though, bro. Shorty still finna have to do some time, fam. Like, Shorty, you still a little bit too hot out here. You for sure definitely need some milk, and of course you might, catch a dub or something like that. Like, ain't no telling. But this dude, Jeremy McLamont, he is trying his hardest to make sure, she's just found not guilty. Or whatever the hell he trying to do, he trying to do it. Alicia Andrews' sentencing has been delayed. She was scheduled to be sentenced on Monday, December 8th, after being found guilty of manslaughter. According to reports, the defense is seeking to have the judge in the case dismissed from sentencing Alicia. Wow, when I thought that they would try everything in their power to make sure Alicia do the least amount of time possible, I didn't think one of the angles they was going to take is actually trying to remove the judge from the case. The same judge that tried the whole case, same judge that was there to listen to everybody go back and forth, and the same judge to ultimately find her guilty of manslaughter, which is a lesser charge as to what people assumed she was actually going to get, fam. Like, wow. So now the next step is to get her took off the case. Now, I'm not sure how they gonna do it, but Buddy was dropping a video and he spoke on everything that's going on. Let's listen to what he got to say.
So let me give you all an update on the Alicia Andrews case while I'm just driving in the middle of the Everglades right now. So that case was supposed to be set for sentencing December 8th. We filed a motion to have the judge disqualified from the case for bias during the trial. And the judge denied that motion, and so pretty much we're left in a position where we have to file an appeal to that judge's order denying the motion. That appeal is what's called a writ of prohibition, and because I was in the trial, the Megan Pete versus Milagro Cooper trial, for the last 2 weeks and whatnot, I didn't have time to actually file that writ until just yesterday. So I finished the other trial Monday, December 1st, and I filed the writ.
So you telling me you basically file a motion not agreeing with the judge's decision on your motion, so you turn around and file another motion to look over the decision she made on not approving the first motion. I don't know how that's gonna play out, but yeah, they did it. And I think it actually worked. At least it bought them some time, at least.
December 4th. The writ is like 17 pages long and it has a bunch of exhibits in the writ, or attached to the writ. Those exhibits are videos that I cut up from YouTube going through all the YouTube videos and finding examples of bias from the judge, or what at least I think is bias.
Now, just for me to hear bro kind of say, at least what I feel was biased, leads me to believe like it's just what you feel, bro. Like if she was to really say something and you could like quote what she said that proved there was some biasness going on, you know, that'll kind of be better. But like, did bro just say he gonna chop up videos that he seen online and use that to prove she was biased in some way? I ain't gonna lie to you, that's gonna be kind of hard to make people feel like she actually is being biased, when in all reality she probably was just doing what she was supposed to be doing up there. But I do see a lot of people believe she was somewhat biased, but like, fam, we all know it was a lot of cap going on in the courtroom, like, and nobody ain't know what to believe for real. Like, we all was hit with a curveball. Imagine being the judge in this situation. Like, she was hit with the biggest curveball and she got to be the judge. Yeah, this is a tough decision. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I commend him for, you know, like going all the way in by this client. You got to salute that and take your hat off to that.
So because we're so close to the sentencing date, I need to push back the sentencing so that the appellate court has time to rule on this issue with the judge, and whether the judge should be presiding over the sentencing or any motions that are left to be dealt with in the Alicia Andrews case. So there's two ways that the court could stop the sentencing or continue it. One is I could ask the trial judge to push back the sentencing in light of the fact that I filed the writ of prohibition, or the appellate court can issue what's called a rule to show cause. If they issue a rule to show cause, then they will push back they'll actually stay the proceedings. Means they'll pause everything in the trial court until such time that they are able to deal with the appeal issue. So I tried with the trial court first. I emailed the prosecutor yesterday, or maybe today, I can't remember which one, asking them if they would agree to, it was yesterday, asking them if they would agree to push back the sentencing. Of course they said no. Once they said no, I reached out to the judge, filed a motion with the judge that was presiding over the case, but I had no faith that the judge would agree to push back the sentencing, and the judge denied the request to push back the sentencing. But at the same time, I was also working to have the appellate court stay the proceedings. So what we did was, and this is why it's important to know the rules of procedure, both appellate procedure and criminal procedure, wherever you're at, in whatever state, because there's a mechanism. If the appellate court issues a rule to show cause, then it stays the proceedings. It's an automatic thing. So I filed a motion for expedited issuance of a rule to show cause in the appellate court. And so while the trial court was trying to figure out what they were going to do on their end, I had the appellate court trying to figure out what they were going to do on their end. And I filed that. And today I was just calling the clerk at the appellate court, trying to get them to get the judges to make a decision. So around 3 o'clock, we get the denial from the trial court judge. She's denying the sentencing being pushed back. And then maybe an hour and a half later, we get an order from the appellate court issuing the rule to show cause and staying the proceedings, which means that we don't have sentencing Monday on Alicia Andrews. The judge that was supposed to sentence Alicia Andrews, at least for now, is not going to sentence her. She can, if the appellate court agrees that she, with her decision to deny our motion to disqualify her, then she's going to get the sentence of Alicia Andrews. But if not, then we might get a new judge to sentence Alicia Andrews.
All right, so basically what I got out of that is that he put in a motion to basically disqualify the judge. And that same judge he put the motion in to disqualify denied the motion. And now he took his way to the appellate court, which is another court. So he wants the appellate court to review the decision she made to not remove herself from basically sentencing her. And now I guess for them to review it, they had to push back her sentencing date. And now I guess that's what they're waiting on. They're waiting on the appellate court to either agree with them and say, yeah, she wrongfully denied that motion, or they just gonna say your motion wasn't sufficient enough for us to believe she was actually being biased. And now you done put yourself in a whole curveball for real, because now that same judge has to sentence her for real now. And y'all just tried to get her off of the case. I don't know about y'all, but like, I'm not too sure how that's gonna work out. But we'll see when her sentencing date comes up.